everyone. I am MechaRandom42, your favorite YouTube harpy. Well, maybe not everybody's favorite. I seem to have really, annoyed and been targeted by, in my opinion, I very much feel like I am being under the microscope and have a target on my back constantly. And I can prove that. So I'm not everybody's favorite. I think I'm a big pain in the butt to some people, and I think it's kind of hilarious. What do you guys think? Here's some evidence to kind of say, well, maybe she's onto something. Maybe she is a little bit under the microscope. Maybe people do have it out for her in some giant corporate entity of some evil organization that is the all-seeing eye that knows everything you do, who goes around stalking poor little YouTubers who are out of their apartment, right? Who can't really do anything. Why would they bother stalking a person, right? Why would they bother to put somebody under the microscope, under that much scrutiny? Well, to kind of bring it all back, let's get into some of the history of my YouTube channel and of where a lot of my, I guess, memes come from, like the name YouTube Harpy. First off, I was Random Game User 42. I was a video gaming YouTuber struggling to gain a subscription every so often. I had gotten to about 5,000 subscribers. Gaming was just not doing it for me. Gaming wasn't doing anything for the channel. I was talking about pop culture, movies, Star Wars, Star Trek, the Marvel, DC, all the biggest pop culture stuff. And I was watching all the pop culture channels. And after Discovery dropped and Ghostbusters and Star Wars, all of these things, Gem and the Holograms, all of these things dropped around the same, couple of years, where we really started seeing this huge influx of attacking the fandoms, attacking people for having different opinions. We started seeing the media go out of their way to call people toxic and trolls, and all of these little buzzwords that dumb people tend to kind of just recite back. And I kind of use that as an example because I obviously don't have the privilege of knowing exactly what's going on behind the scenes in some things, but I know enough about what's going on in some instances. I know for a fact, because I've talked to some people, that sometimes marketing companies hire people to sit their butts on Twitter all day or on YouTube comments, basically to market and promote their properties, and it'll be like a production company hiring a marketing firm who hires some other company. So they're not actually going and paying officially to have people sit on YouTube channels and troll. Or on Twitter or whatever. And you've seen that with like the Comicsgate things with some certain blue-haired people who shall remain nameless. Wow, I can't even speak. And I kind of have to bring it back to social media because this is where the Harpy thing came in for me too. When I changed my channel around, I started talking about more pop culture and things and doing like trailer breakdowns and reviews and commentary on articles, news articles, commentary on images, commentary and opinions and rants on things that I was being told and talking about, right? So you'd find an article and you'd be like, okay, well, here's what I think this actually means. Here's what I think my opinion of this is, right? And it's so funny that I would be involved in a lot of these sort of dealings on social media with people who absolutely will sit there and just argue all day. I don't have all day to argue. I didn't have all day to argue before I was doing YouTube full time, right? I don't have time to argue all day now, but I would be getting into arguments and with people on Twitter and disagreements where they just couldn't understand why I didn't like Discovery. They couldn't understand it. And that was kind of the first catalyst to really say, you know what? I'm tired of talking to you. I'm just going to tell my opinion on YouTube. And I started bringing in the reviews, and this is even before I changed my channel over to full-time reviews and reactions and rants and news articles and opinion pieces like that. Before I was doing vlogging, I was still a gaming channel. And I remember the instance. It was February 16th, during my birthday, right around the time Black Panther came out. I was sitting there on Twitter, thinking, you know what, I already made videos. I've already started sprinkling in these reviews. These people can't understand what's wrong with something like Discovery just from, the character limit on Twitter, because there's so many things wrong with it. And I started, just getting more and more vocal and covering the articles, paying attention to what was being said, bookmarking sites so I could reference, because they're so contradictory. The Discovery production has a million stories that they never stick to it. We'd have the stories of, oh yes, we'll never see Spock in Star Trek Discovery, and sure enough, there he is. And I've got videos on this, and I'll link all of my videos in the description below that I'm going to be referencing here, and I'm going to be talking about. And I've been kind of a pain in the butt for Star Trek for a while, basically doing things like exposing some of their lies, exposing, they have no people in lines in conventions. When everybody's lined up for Jeffrey Combs, nobody's lined up for Discovery people, and just little things like that. Stuff like, why Spock shouldn't be in Discovery and why Discovery is its own universe, right? Where they have Akiva Goldsman saying Discovery will exist in its own universe. It's not even in the canon TV universe. It's in its own thing. It's not in the Kelvin. It's not in the Prime version of the Kelvin where that version of Spock came from. It's not in the canon TV where real Spock came from. We have countless things. We even have Alex Kurtzman admitting that Discovery is for people who don't like it's for people who don't like Star Trek. Let me see if I can find that one. I have, you guys don't want to know how many tabs I have open because they're all relevant. They're all absolutely 1000% relevant here. So this video is from January 15th that I'm going to reference right now, where there's me at my mom's place. Star Trek Discovery is for people who don't like Star Trek, right? Where Alex Kurtzman says flat out that, it's, I think Deep Space Nine and Voyager are a tricky spot where people were starting to feel they can't tell the difference between the shows, even though they were very different. But I can't tell the difference, so why would I pick one over the other? Our job is to make sure that it feels like a very, very different prospect, right? And blah, blah, blah. Watch that video if you want my full... I don't have time to put, 5 hours worth of videos. But basically, he kind of indicates that, yes, it is not for people who like Star Trek. Because Star Trek fans know the difference between Deep Space Nine and Discovery. And they get a little mad when you point that out. So when I started hearing names and being called Harpy back, I want to say probably August, September, October, when I really started being noticed. And my channel started really, really getting traction, and I started getting, getting noticed by, I think, some of the wrong people and some of the right people. People on Twitter said, oh yes, I know that Harpy, she's terrible. So that's where Harpy came from. And it's even funny, if you go back through some of my old videos from back then, I'm sure I said, well, we know that I'm a pain in Discoveries, but we know they're sending people to watch my stuff. We know that they're doing that, even though in the comments they're like, oh, ha, 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 nobody watches Discovery. Well, nobody from CBS watches you. I can prove they do. Wait, we'll get there. We'll get there. Trust me, this is a little bit, I have stuff prepared, but I'm not scripted. So if I do go on to tangents, I will bring it right back. So I apologize for that. But yes, so basically right before I adopted your favorite YouTube Harpy, I even said, I believe probably on a Midnight's Edge After Dark stream, or probably on my videos, that if I see anything in Star Trek, and I couldn't comb through it to find it because I only had a set amount of time today, but if I see anything that like a red winged mechanical anything, that I'm going to know that that's a dig at me. I know it's a shot at me. Because let's face it, I was always going... I changed over to Mecha Random 42 back in July before anybody even noticed me. So did somebody at CBS have a little fun and want to poke some fun at me right there? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? That's not how I know they're watching me, though. That's not how I know they're watching me. One of the biggest things that has happened to me dealing with Discovery, and this video is talking about the copyright strike, and this is talking about all the bullying and harassment that I've received because of my opinion of Discovery, and because I have exposed a lot of the lies that they've said, and because I've been one of their more vocal and influential critics, in my opinion anyway. I can prove 100% that they do watch my content. But let's take it back. Let's take it back, because way back probably in January, I started noticing that people really, really were not happy with a lot of my coverage of Discovery, especially when we got a lot of news of the Picard series. And this is one of my first really big hit videos, one of my first viral videos, where we're talking about the Picard series, and they have the confirmation that it's going to be in this, post JJ universe where the Romulan star is destroyed, taking things from the JJ universe Bad Robot comic series, taking that as the base to start the Picard series, right? The events that happen in these comic books in the Bad Robot universe for Star Trek are the things that are going to be happening in the Picard series. And that's part of why I'm worried about it. Not only that, we have the exact same people behind the scenes as Discovery, and we all know how wonderful Discovery has turned out, right? So this is one of the first things that I think they really, really, really started getting pissed at me. I think they were hoping I would go away. I really, really think they were. And like I said, I will link every one of these videos in the description below. But I got a lot of backlash for that. I really, really did. And some of the most notable backlash happened probably around the time when I started really noticing things on social media, noticing things in articles, reading kind of what wasn't said. And one of the big ones that I think I really pissed a lot of people off for, let me pull it up here, was when I questioned, one of my first times that I could question if Discovery was actually canceled, what was going on. So you've got exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. Now, I've gotten a ton of backlash from a lot of the people over on social media where they're basically telling me, oh, you said that Discovery was canceled. You said Discovery was canceled. Like, no. Calm your tits. I never said Discovery was canceled. I questioned. And I even have it pinned to my Twitter. Here, let's see if I can pull that up. I have it pinned to my Twitter. I've gotten a ton of backlash for that, for questioning whether or not Discovery was canceled. Oh no, I can't have an opinion. And of course, the Discovery fans who believe everything, like absolutely everything they say here. Where did I go? Oh, where'd it go? We went to a different thing. So I questioned if Discovery was canceled because of this tweet. When Anson Mount was out there asking, hey, experiencing unemployment, we'll act for food. And this was back in, January 27th when I was questioning that. And I never confirmed or denied that Discovery was canceled. I said, what's going on? Why is he saying unemployment? Is this just a meme? Is he not back for next season? What's going on? And of course, then we have gotten rumors since that, and actual real legit news from like Deadline, where apparently there's some sort of an altercation and Anson Mount and HR had to be involved, and there might have been a fight behind the scenes. And we hear so much fights behind the scenes. We hear so much of that I'm wondering if he wasn't fired for an altercation or a fight. Now, I can't prove or deny any of that. All I can prove is that, yes, Anson Mount's not coming back for season 3 of Discovery, if that ever happens. We don't know 100% yet. They have been officially renewed, but there's no production going forward at this point. Nobody's writing scripts or screening. They seem to be really, really working on trying to get the show ordered for the Section 31 show, which they don't even have ordered. And of course, because of a lot of that backlash I have received, right? So here's where I call them on the Alex Kurtzman interview right there. So you have a series order. One of the interviewer asks Alex Kurtzman. He says, we don't have a series order yet. So the Star Trek Discovery, this is from March 26th, just a few days ago. We broke the news that no, they do not even have a series order at the time of that video being made. And I don't think they even have one now. I have just been totally ghosting Star Trek since they've been bullying the crap out of me and harassing and stalking and all this thing. In my opinion, I feel very stalked and threatened by them. And I can show you why. I can show you why. So we're going to get to that. This is a much longer video. This is a little bit more rambly. This is kind of a brain dump. Here's all my evidence. Here's everything I have. This is why I'm pissed at Star Trek, and this is why I'm pissed at CBS. And this is why this isn't over CBS, right? So we're going to get more into that in a second here. Have they been sitting on my channel and being mad and sending people? Well, the first indication I had was on a comment I noticed on a video Oh, when was this? Way back a couple months ago. Right after I had mentioned, hey, is Discovery canceled? What's going on? Here's Anson Mount's tweet. Well, one of the things we do know is that Chris Hunter, who is the son of Jeffrey Hunter, who played the character that Anson Mount is playing on Discovery, Captain Pike. Well, we know that they had been buddy-buddy, they had been friendly, they had done some promotional work together. I had covered stories of that. I need to find those videos too. I'm sure they're on my channel still, of Anson Mount and Chris Hunter. It's probably linked in the video. In one of the videos I'm going to link in the description. But, and this is after he edited it, too. This is after he edited my official threat from somebody involved with Star Trek, right? My official threat was from Chris Hunter, and we know it's confirmed to be him because I've had conversations with him since then, where he's tried to change his story a few times. And watch these videos, too. These are really fascinating if you're brand new to all this. Where he's kind of said, you know, oh yeah, she had it coming. She's the worst one out there. And then he's taken it back and said, oh no, my friend got on my computer. He was drunk. You know, we have there's like massive amounts of evidence and text back and forth that people have sent me. And that's all in the videos related to that situation. But this was the catalyst of it here. I hope your minions know martial arts. I know some things too, like knock your teeth out. Oh no, not that I ever would, you pathetic sow. Just saying. Yeah. No, I'm not threatening. I'm just clapping for effect, right? But not that I would ever threaten you or anything or defend myself if that came about, right? So that was one of the instances that occurred. Why I feel so threatened by Discovery. The other one was just kind of hilarious, and I don't even know how this is involved, but right after all of this, well, there's even more to this video, and not only that, knowing, we can confirm it was him because also it was on his Facebook page, where comes from his Facebook, where he says, the worst hater in Star Trek, pleaded post nasty comments on her YouTube page, grr. So he can't even spell it right, and it's consistent with his other misspellings, so we know it's him. I did not press charges because I wasn't going to be super petty like that. But if need be, I think I'm still within the statute of limitations, or the statute, since I didn't pronounce it clearly. I did say it, but I'm still within my time limit where I can probably press charges if I need to. So, CBS, since you've already established that, you know, you guys are watching me, at least that's part of why I feel like I think CBS is watching me and stalking me here. The other thing, I don't know how this is related, but this one came from Pablo Hidalgo, right, where they're calling out myself and calling me names, Mecha Trollface and all these things. This is all in the same day, right? This is all January 27th. This is all tail end of January. You can see this apartment here. How do I know CBS is watching my videos and stalking me and hunting me down and looking? Well, when I do my live reactions for their show, where we go through and we'll pop up a little tiny bit of footage, and I use this overlay here, which you can kind of see is a huge watermark where you can't actually see the footage, and I'll mute the audio and I'll pop it up for a few seconds while I show the footage of, you know, Stamets upside down because the camera operators are drunk or the directors are high or whatever. Allegedly, I don't know. That's a joke, clearly. I'm using it for comedic effect, right? I don't know for a fact, but yeah, so you can see the watermark here as it fuzzes the image. The bots don't detect it because we're using such a little amount. It's watermarked. It's muted for, you know, most of the thing until there's some audio. I'll recite lines from it. I'll explain what's happening. But no, they had to go out of their way and you know, manually detect and claim some of my reactions. They have done that in the past. They've manually come in and said, oh, you're using too much of our footage. So I know that they're doing that, and I can prove that with one thing that I had not deleted. I've been actually deleting the ones that they do go in and claim. Now, they've done this a couple of times with Star Trek before, but this is another one. I did a reaction to the Brie Larson carpool karaoke because of the whole Brie Larson, Captain Marvel phenomenon just kind of took over everybody's YouTube channel for a couple of months. So the claimant is CBS, monetized by copyright owner. I did dispute that and they rejected it. So they stole all of my money for commenting and critiquing that, you know, and you have to put like reaction. You have to do that so people will click on your video. But no, we're using the footage to critique. We're using the footage to suggest and improve, and yes, I do throw some jokes in there, and yes, I do Mystery Science Theater sort of riff a lot of these sort of things. when I use some footage, that it is for 100% fair use critique. I'm not just uploading and stealing the video, right? I'm not doing that. I've had that happen to me a few times where people just download my entire video, upload it, email me to tell me, hey, we you're using our content, stop it. And I've had to go in and say, no, this is my video, here's my original. And, easy peasy is done. I don't know why they do that. But this is also, this is the thing that really, really proves that CBS is sitting on my channel. I feel very stalked and harassed because they manually detected, like I said, like I had described, I pop up with the watermarks, so you can't even see the footage. You can barely see it. We're critiquing, we're commentating, and we're calling them out on how they make fun of people who are differently abled, by how they make fun of geeks, by how and why I say that is because they have people on the show pushing themselves around in wheelchairs, and people on the spectrum that are kind of the joke of the show, or people who are assumed to be on the spectrum. Spock is dyslexic now, and they're treating it like he's Rain Man instead of like an actual learning disability, which I actually have, by the way. And I am not happy with how you're treating dyslexia, and I'm very, very offended by that. But I know that they're sitting on my channel and being very, very irritated at me because they manually detected it. Not only did they manually detect it, they had to go in there and manually hit submit strike instead of just to send me a message, just to threaten me, just to hurt my income, just to shut me up. So they had to go in and manually strike it. They had to manually go watch the video, take the time to, and I've done this, it takes a while, it takes like about 20-30 minutes out of your day to go in and have to go in and say, yes, this is the video, this is our content. And they don't even have to prove, they don't have to prove anything. They just can go in there. So here's everything that is on my stuff right here. Manually detected from CBS. They had to go in and hunt and stalk my channel, watch my channel, find a video. I upload a lot of videos. I upload a lot of content, right? My channel is Captain Marvel, DC, Marvel, pop culture, Star Wars, Star Trek, Godzilla, everything. We talk about a lot of different stuff, right? They had to go in and manually stalk my channel to detect it. And that's because I don't fit their narrative. There's been other times where I just don't fit their little narrative, and they've been very, very mad, and I call them on it every single time. And at least that's what I believe, that I'm not kissing their butt. And I call them on their crap, right? When they ran this full page New York Times ad, which it clearly states, paid for and posted by CBS All Access, that women are like in Discovery. Well, I should be the poster child for a Star Trek fan, right? I look like an SJW. I'm LGBT. I have learning disabilities. I have a lot of stuff that they would love to have me as a token representation of. But no, they want to treat people like circus freaks and parade them out like they're tokens. And I'm personally offended by that. I feel very, very threatened that they are trying to pander this show as this feminist power. And this video is basically, that I'm showing right now, is basically me correcting everything they said in this advertisement, this article, right? This article length advertisement where they tell you how wonderful all the female characters are. Well, guess what? We got one who's a flat out rapist, one of them who's space Hitler, literally, like she wiped out and committed genocide against the entire Klingon homeworld, eats other sentient beings like aliens, like Kelpians, people like Saru. She eats them for fun because she can, murders her entire inner circle because she can. Don't get me started on Tilly being the joke of the show, being on the spectrum. Don't even start me on Michael Burnham. I can tell you, I have hours of videos about what's wrong with Michael Burnham. And here's the thing, I should be a Star Trek fan. I have every episode of Star Trek on DVD. You can see Deep Space Nine. You can see all the movies back there. You can see TOS back there. Stargate's a little more prominently featured because alphabetical and OCD. But the point is, when I get something like a manual strike from CBS, instead of hey, stop doing this, you could just email me. You could just say, hey, stop doing this. We don't want you talking about Discovery anymore. You're hurting our fifis. No. They're going to go and try and manually shut me up. And, you know, we've seen so many other things. We've seen people like Midnight Sedge get struck when they were giving an opinion, manually struck when they were giving an opinion of Captain Marvel. And now we can't say for sure whether or not people are trying to shut them up or not. But it's certainly starting to seem like that. People like Gary Neurotic got struck on a video that was unlisted. You know, what is going on with all of these little things where they just don't want people to criticize their product? Well, guess what, CBS? I'm paying attention, and I do not feel safe dealing with you. I do not feel comfortable dealing with you. I feel angry. I feel threatened. I feel bullied. I don't go to you guys, okay? I don't go to Sonequa Martin Green and tell her anything, ever. I don't go to any of you people. If I have accidentally been tagged in and replied to something that the actors see, that's an accident. That's just, you know, me getting like 20 little tags, and I won't even know who's in a tag when I reply to something. I make snarky comments when people send me Discovery screenshots from the Discovery Twitter accounts, because that's what I do. I riff stuff. I'm an entertainer. I'm a comedian first, entertainer, opinion channel, and I'm a reactor, right? And I know I'm a bad comedian. I'm not funny. I know, I get it. The point is, when I hear all of this false information and all of these things, and with the striking, you know, they have there's entire sort of false propaganda style, and you know, I don't know if they're doing this on for real or not, but it really seems like all the false propaganda style and the payola and the buzzola of the past, where you would have people going and spamming Twitter accounts telling people that I'm fake news. I'm not a news channel. I'm a girl with an opinion sitting in an apartment, right? I'm not a news channel, you know, and when I'm doing something like breaking a news story, it is because the news sites are so bought and paid for, in my opinion, that they're basically advertisements. You know, when I go and question something I see on social media, like Anson Mount's tweet about unemployment, and I get people upset with me over that, over questioning something, and then they say, "Oh, you're saying Discovery's canceled. You're saying it's fake news. You're fake news. You're a news thing." I'm an opinion and reactor. I'm a rant channel. I'm a vlogger. I'm not a news channel. So when I see so many people trying to push that narrative, either people are really effing stupid, or they're being paid and bought for by CBS to go and promote this narrative, like, "Oh, you're fake news," because it's all the same 5 arguments. You're fake news. You're just a hater. I see the other comments of, "Oh, season one of every other Star Trek series sucked." You know, you see like the 5 programmed responses, right? So it makes me question, are these guys being paid to say that? Because I see that in my comment section all the time. I see people saying, "Oh, well, see, are you laughing now because you said Discovery is canceled?" No, you're an idiot and didn't see my thumbnail where it just has canceled and me going, huh? Like, seriously, they don't understand things and logic and sense and opinions, you know? And if I have to pull this up again, I'm questioning. I'm like, huh? Is Discovery canceled? Exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question mark. And I get so much hate over that, because they treat that like I claimed and said and reported it like it's news. And this might be why Discovery is threatened by me. This might be why CBS is stalking my channel. It might be why they're sitting there manually detecting my stuff, because they're making a product for people who are so low common denominator, in my opinion, that they either appear as bots, or the people who are watching it actually are. And when I say bot, I mean, I don't mean like an actual piece of code or a robot. A lot of the times I'm talking about people who just give you the same pre-programmed responses. A lot of people call them NPCs. A lot of people call them SJWs. I kind of lump that all in the same thing, where you just have people who recite the same 5 things that they've been programmed to say. And yes, this is a really long one, but I had to get this one off my chest. And you know, and like I said, I don't feel safe making content about Star Trek when CBS is stalking my channel like that. I don't feel safe when I'm being threatened by people who are employees or associated with, you know, people who are on the circuits They're in the panels. They're in the inn. You know, this is a kid of a Star Trek legacy actor who does the conventions, right? And yes, he has issued an apology to me, and you know, I do have to definitely give him credit for issuing an apology, whether or not he was intimidated by CBS to do so, whether or not he crossed the line. I haven't forgotten this. I have not forgotten this. This is just another thing that makes me think that CBS just does not want people to know that Star Trek Discovery is not very good. They don't want anybody to have a negative opinion. Why are you so threatened by me? Why are you so threatened by one little crazy girl on the internet that everybody says, oh, you're fake news anyway, unless you're paying people to say that, unless I'm actually giving an impact, right? Am I actually so impactful with my little, at the time of that was like 16,000 subscribers, that I'm getting more, that I'm receiving more attention than actual Star Trek websites and news sites and interviews? Like I've already made videos. I just keep clicking through my Star Trek Discovery playlist. I've made videos where it shows that I get more views complaining about Discovery than the actors get views on interviews about Discovery. Just think about that for a second and let that sink in. So thank you guys so much for letting me rant and yell at a camera. Like I said, they have struck me, but I can still premiere videos, and I have my backup channel, which is Mecha Random 42. Let me pull that up for you guys so you can see it. Mecha Random 42 Live. I will link that in the description below. I also have Twitch. I have the Streamlabs link to bypass super chats, but super chats are still active on the premieres. And I just say this because, like I said, they're trying to hit me where it hurts. They're trying to strike my livelihood here, because that's what they're doing, and it feels like a targeted harassment campaign when they're actually actively sitting on my channel, right? When they're actively sticking it to me. I also have a PO box, 1566 Loveland, Colorado 80539. That is, it's CBS. That's not in the city I live in. That's nowhere nearby where I'm at. So don't sit there and stalk me or anything. And I probably shouldn't even put my P.O. box up there now, because like that's what I'm worried about, is that somebody from CBS is going to be sitting at that post office next time I go and get my mail. I'm actually legit worried about that. And I try and make jokes, and I try and, make light of it. But no, I'm seriously considering figuring out what to do about this, because in my opinion, I feel very much like they're sitting on my channel, stalking me, harassing me, sending people to intimidate, sending people to bully, where I can only prove that they're sitting on my channel watching it. I can only prove that, people on the inside know who I am based on the threats I've received. Those two things I can prove. I can prove that Star Trek is in other timelines, or it's in an alternate universe, or that Discovery is in its own universe based on what the producers have said. And when I have an opinion or a rumor, I tell you guys, I say, this is what I think. This is what I believe. This is what putting two and two together is making me think. What do you guys think? I always open it for discussion. I always open it up for, this is my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? So here's the Mecha Random 42 live channel, which it has just hardly anything. We need to get the view hours up to 4,000 over there, so please go subscribe to that. If you can, leave it running in the background. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to try and stream live over there more. Sorry for the super long video, but I did want to give you guys your time worth, since I am going to set this to premiere tonight. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? What do you think's up with Star Trek? And should I stop talking about it? Because I don't know if I just can shadow ban them if I do more damage, or by complaining and pointing this out, do I do more damage? Do I keep at it? Because I don't let people bully me. I don't let people intimidate me. And I don't let people threaten me. I do not back down from a fight. I never start one, but I always end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next video or live stream. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!